Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our program here at Kardec Radio. What a blessing to be here with you. If you haven't met me before, my name is Sheyne Martin. I'm broadcasting to you from Richmond, Virginia. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be here with you today. And always, every Tuesdays at 8 p.m., we are here with the Spiritist Magazine program. And we are here with the Spiritist Magazine program to enlighten ourselves and to be here working on our improvement, our self-improvement, self-knowledge, and to connect with the higher realm. So without further ado, we're going to start our program today with a message from the book The Way, the Truth, and the Light by the Spirit Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. Welcome if you're joining me today. What a blessing to be here with you. I am able to see there's some of you alive, and if you watch this on demand later, feel welcome and feel loved. If you have any comment, have any questions, please write on the comments there. I am able to answer anything that I can, of course, with the inspirations of the good spirits. So before we do our initial prayer, the message is number 3, examine yourself. Bible quote, let nothing be done in strife or vainglory, but in humility. Paul, Philippians 2:3. Emmanuel says, Jesus' work is endless. Within the orbit of this work, there is a place for every person and every salutary idea. If in the divine order each tree produces according to its own kind, in the Christian endeavor each disciple contributes according to his or her level of evolution. A human lifetime is not a season of pleasure. A person is here for the purpose of learning, and in this endeavor, he or she should take advantage of the opportunity to learn and enable others to do the same. The Apostle Paul understood this truth, stating that we should not do anything in the spirit of strife or vainglory, but in humility. And at the end, Emmanuel says, just keep doing your job, remembering that as he served others with humility, without strife or vainglory, Jesus himself was seen as an imprudent and rebellious, a traitor to the law, and an enemy of the people, but that he received his glorious crown on the cross. What a blessings teachings. I'm going to leave it open because it ties really well with the message we're going to read later from Euripedes Barsanulfo. So I'm going to invite you for our prayer of gratitude and of connection with the good spirits, and to make sure we are all working live. So everybody who wants to be watching us can watch us in many different ways through here on Kardec Radio, Facebook, and YouTube, the Spiritist Magazine, Facebook and YouTube, and or in the Kardec Radio app. Right? So join me if you can. Close your eyes to be a little moment of mindfulness and repeat mentally the words of the prayer, mine or anyone else's, so that we can connect and augment the powers of prayer. Shall we? Dear Mother, Father God, we are here today, blessed with the opportunity of studying together. We thank you for everything that you give us each and every day. We are still learning and working on our progress towards our ascension to your kingdom. We hope that this moment of reflection allow us to connect with the good spirits, with our mentors and the mentors of the Spiritist Magazine and Kardec Radio. May they inspire us towards a better knowledge and deeper understanding of God's laws and truths. May our hearts feel these teachings. May we be inspired to apply these teachings to our daily lives. We pray today for all of those on the earth who may be suffering in hospitals, in psychiatric institutions, homeless, orphanages, areas of war and suffering, anywhere in the planet where there's someone suffering. May your messengers of light travel all throughout this earth and all around the universe. May showers of healing light and love and grace from you irradiate from the higher realms, reaching each and every one of them. We pray for our family members, for our friends, and those who we don't know. All of those who are working courageously in the works of disseminating these beautiful teachings. We hope that our humble endeavors are fruitful for all. With your permission and with your protection, we start our studies today, and so be it. Dear friends, welcome. I'm able to see some of you live. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. If you haven't met before, my name is Sheyne Martin. Today, we have a very special issue of the Spiritist magazine. This is a new issue 50, just fresh out of the oven. It was published last Friday night, right before the 9th anniversary of Cardiac Radio. And this is a message that I selected from this issue of the magazine. As I always bring to you, this issue is very important to us because it's really dealing with Spiritist teachings during these difficult times of the pandemic. So I'm going to do a little change here and show to you actually the Spiritist magazine itself. It's always good for us to know where things are coming. And then here we have, um, yes, we'll see if you can see what I see. Yes, this is how the Spiritist magazine looks like if you were to go to spiritistmagazine.org. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful cover? Beautiful teachings, and it's all dedicated to Spiritism in the pandemic. And then you can easily read any different messages. You can download the app from for your Android or for your Apple devices, and you can read. There's beautiful teachings from many different folks who write, from the Spirits Dias da Cruz and the Spirits Chico Xavier, Bittencourt Sampaio, Euripedes Barsanulfo. And there's a lot of beautiful teachings. There's a lot of work that goes into producing the Spiritist magazine for us. And a lot of these teachings you're going to see today are published here firsthand in English before they actually get published in the book format. Look how beautiful it is. If you're here in this case, you may have noticed I'm using the Macintosh computer, and you can go and just peruse through the different pages. And this is the page we're going to look at today, which is the page of your decision that goes exactly align with the message that I chose today under the inspiration of the spirits. I didn't plan, but they go together. Oh, look how beautiful this magazine is. And of course, you can't read what is there. So um, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to project it to you so you can read it with me. And then after we read the entire message, we're going to go back and analyze some of the topics in there. All right. So feel free to write comments or questions. I'm able to answer them to you. I'm not able to see who you are, but I'm able to see that you are there with me, and I thank you for that. So here is the message. Look how beautiful it is. Brothers and sisters, the time has arrived. We enter the vortex of the road where two lines, that of the good and of the evil, intersect, forming a basic angle of transition necessary to the evolution of the planet. And they ask, which side are you in? It is necessary to define your position before your conscience. It is necessary to define the true sector in which are situated tendencies and vices. Apart from this knowledge of yourselves, the foundations of spiritual progress which we so long for will not be processed. Therefore, there should be an accounting of thoughts and impulses that vibrate during the task, the recreations and the fellowship with other individuals, The result from this analysis will be the whole foundation of your evolutionary initiation. My brethren, dedicate yourselves to the divine work of love, seeking your inner renewal. The voices of the good are warning you in the path of light and love. Open your ears to the message of the messengers of the Lord, who want nothing other than your ascension to the Father. May God protect you now and forever. Isn't that beautiful? Let's take a deep breath because there is a lot going on in these teachings. And as always, the good spirits bring to us many, many different teachings. And if you haven't seen him before, here it is. This is Euripedes Barsanulfo. I have a picture of him here with me that I was given by a good friend of mine that you all know, the editor-in-chief of the Spiritist magazine. And I carry some of it with me so that I can remind myself of the path that we are all ascending towards God. So let's dissect it out. As a scientist, I like to dissect things out. So let's analyze these teachings together with one another so that we can get a little glimpse of the work that is ahead of us. So I selected a few parts of the message. Euripedes Barsanulfo through Corina Novelina says, the time has arrived. There is two lines, a road, we are in the road. Imagine yourself in the road and you have to make a decision, good or evil. And he asks, and this is the angle. So right now you and I know that we are on the planetary transition, that we are going through trials and expiations to regeneration. And of course, it's not a magic wand. It doesn't work, doesn't happen overnight. It is something that happens each and every day as you and I get better, because the planet is composed of people, composed of humans. A collective humanity is progressing all together. Then they ask, which side are you in? So let's take today. Today, later in the something wrong with the live. Is there something wrong? Let me know what's wrong, because on my part here I see the live, and the live is I can listen to myself and I can hear myself. So tell me what's going on so I can try to fix it, okay? It's a one woman show. Hi Thais, tell me what's going on, okay? I want to make sure everybody's listening. And if you can't listen, I need to know. Let me take a peek here. Everything seems to be okay. Let me make the microphone come closer to me. Maybe that will help. All right. Okay, cool. It may be just a bandwidth. It's 8 o'clock at night. We might be all together. I apologize for that, but we have a lot of different, technology. I can see that I'm by myself. I'm broadcasting here on a different computer. So it's go back to. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So he's asking, which side are we in? So today we've gone about our lives and we're going to go band tomorrow. So which bandwidth are you in? Are you aligned with the laws of God, which is the definition of good in the Spirit's book, part 3, or we are deviating from the laws, therefore we are in the evil path? Because when we know from Spiritism, when you choose to do the good, what happened? You progress faster. So you and I have the opportunity to choose which side we want to be in. And the good spirits I wrote here, they are so beautiful because they kindly warn us. They kindly tell us, hey, check yourself, recheck. Are you in the path or not? They don't tell us what to do. They warn us, they invite us because we have free will. So we can decide which side which side we're gonna be. It is necessary to define your position before your conscience. So what our conscience tonight are going to say, just as St. Augustine says in the Gospel according to Spiritism and also in the Spirit's book, we have to every day do a reflection. As the sum of my actions today, would I be veering towards the good? Would I be veering towards evil? And evil, just as in Spiritism, is the lack of knowledge, ignorance is evil. When we don't know, we don't do things that are not for the good of all. So they're inviting us. Let's define our positions. And I'm not doing this to shame anybody, to create guilt. I'm just inviting everybody for a reflection, just as Euripedes Barsanulfo is inviting us here. Because the spirits are saying, hey, we are in a moment of transition. Where do you want to be? And he says, apart from this knowledge of ourselves or yourselves, you and I, the foundation of spiritual progress, which we so long for, will not be processed. So we need to go through knowing of ourselves, because we have multimillenary existence. We are immortal. We're going to reincarnate many times. We've had many, many different lives before, and we're going to continue to have as many lives, be blessed with as many lives as we need to progress. So as we are doing this, we want to say, oh, what are the things that are already conquered, and what are the things that I still need to work on? And I always like to do a bridge between the teachings we see here and the teachings of Kardec, because it's all coherent. As a scientist, I know science, the science of spirits, is built in and of itself. Each knowledge of the good spirits, we build upon it. So go to question 100 of the Spirits book, and you see the hierarchy of spirits. Go there and highlight where you are, and you're going to notice that you have characteristics. You may have characteristics of all of them, and then you look at the top at the first order spirits, and that's what I mean. They're inviting us to do here: do a multi-millenary plan, because in 100 years where you want to be, in 1,000 years where you want to be, in a million years where you want to be. And we need to do that plan and see what are the characteristics of good spirits that we need to acquire today. Today is the time to start. Forgive yourself for everything that happened before, learn from it, look at the mirror in front of you, not the back. Don't look too much, look to learn, but move forward, aim forward, do the good. And he says here, there should be an accounting of thoughts and impulses that vibrate during the tasks, the recreations, and the fellowship with other individuals. So today, this is something anywhere else you're going to find. When you and I were probably growing up and learning things in school and at home, we were told to do an accounting, to learn, to have grades, to have achievements, physical achievements, to have things, professions, knowledge, etc. In Spiritism, we're learning that thought is life, and then there will be an accounting of thoughts and impulses. And nothing better. It's very interesting that this is very well crafted by the good spirits, because today we are invited to be disciplined so that we can hinder the progression of the pandemic. We need to be mindful, kind, because you are actually protecting others by being disciplined and doing what the health authorities are doing. So we see a lot of people out there in recreation, traveling, mingling, fellowship, which there's nothing wrong with it, because we're societal beings. However, what were you doing? How are you thinking about it? What kind of impulses came to you? What kind of things you're doing? Because we really need to elevate our vibrations, because there's nothing better than service and communion with others. But that this is perfect, because we are invited to help one another in the progress, to be disciplined, to go back to our homes, to go back to ourselves and do reflection, so that we can protect others. Because you may not be sick, and working in a healthcare profession, I am a scientist at a hospital. I see the vulnerable people every day. My nurse works with COVID patients, and I see the pain in her eyes, because it's such a difficult disease. So we need to do that accounting of thoughts and impulses. Why am I thinking that I am entitled to these things when I'm invited by life to be mindful, to be thoughtful, to be caring for others? And he says here, the result from this analysis will be the whole foundations of your evolutionary initiation. Dedicate yourselves to the divine work of love, seeking your inner renewal, because I'm not putting everything in here, but he's saying what needs to happen for you and I to become superior spirits? We need to act and live with Jesus and for Jesus and like Jesus, because he's a superior spirit. But we recognize we're still getting there. Today, we're much better than we were 2,000 years ago, than we were 4,000 years ago, than we were even decades ago. But they're saying, dedicate yourselves to the divine work. It's your decision. That's the title of the article. Your decision. You have the power to decide. You have free will. You can go towards the path of good and ascend fast, or you can stay and not be progressing as fast as you could. And then why we are saying this? Because loving one another, the love, justice, and charity, and it's in the Spirit's book. It is really giving all of yourself to others and forgetting all the material needs and the material accomplishments. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of progress. We want to learn more. We want to do more so we can make everybody's life be better. But with so much suffering in the world, we are invited each and every day to this divine work. And it may be that your mission, as the message says here, within this is Emmanuel, within the orbit of this work, there is a place for every person and every idea. So Jesus has allowed us to be here today under his guardianship. And you have a mission that is unique to you. Nobody else can do what you can. Nobody else can do the divine work of love as it has been assigned to you per your incarnatory plan. So we do not want to waste this opportunity of these minutes, of these hours that are left in our days of life, and find ourselves in the spiritual realm suffering, because guilt and remorse may come and we may be suffering. But if today I'm working and today I'm better than I was yesterday, then I can work towards progressing. In both realms, progress goes in the material, in the intellectual, and the moral progress, because you have to have the three of them in order to ascend. But we are invited, the divine work of love. The earth is inviting us to love it back. Because if you look, go and as an example, once we're done, Google Hubble NASA, and you're going to see the beauty. Earth, you can do Earth as well. You're going to see the pictures from the telescopes, from the astronauts taking picture of us. And it's such a finite and beautiful planet, unique in and of itself, hosting more than 7 billion human beings here. There's work, divine work of love everywhere you go. And it may be that you and I are not going to save entire nations, but if each and every one of us work towards the good within our circle of influence, with those who are put in your life, in your family, in your workplaces, the random people you see at the grocery store, there's so much work that can be done. And even if it's not a physical, because we have to stay home, it may be the work of prayer. It may be the work of calling someone and reminding them that you love them. It takes the same amount of time to record a selfie message than it takes to type. And you can send a video message to someone and that can brighten their day. Just giving someone the knowledge, not to convert them into Spiritism, but giving them the knowledge that there is more than physical life, it may save their lives. Because if their physical life is difficult, they may not have a reason to stay, and you can save them, you can help them just by enlightening them and guiding them towards this. And Euripedes says, the voices of the good are warning you, you and I, in the path of light and love. So open your ears to the message of the messengers of the Lord. And the good spirits are always inspiring us to do the good, just like they inspired you today to join me. But they're never forceful. This is a kind warning here. Are we listening to this call to work in the divine love, to work towards others? Because through service, you can improve yourself. You can know of your limitations. You can learn to be patient. You can resign. So that's the invitation. The voices are warning us, 2020, during the pandemic, the difficulties all around the world. What are the countings of your thoughts today? What are the counting of your impulses? Where have you been? Did it include any divine work of love, or was just the physical things that we're normally automatically doing each and every day, right? So it is tough. It's not really tough love, because it's love is what it is, but it's really a warning, a kind of warning. but he titled it Your Decision. So they leave it to us, they inspire us to do things, and then they leave it to us, to our free will. Because in the moment of transition, where do you want to be? Once you graduate from this life, do you want to stay around the planet Earth and be able to progress, help in its progress and its evolution, and help your loved ones? Or do we want to be exiled? Because if we're not attuned to the good as Earth is progressing, if we're not attuned to the good that is coming, we're not going to be allowed in. That's the pure definition of the progress of the planet. So I invite you to reflect on this message that is truly blessed, given to us through the Spiritist magazine. Hello, Saul. It's always a pleasure to have you. We have to be soldiers of the good. And we can do good each and every day. I told everybody a story yesterday when we were live on Mondays here with the Spiritist Society of Richmond, that sometimes it's hard to be kind and loving because we're still evolving. So each and every day, again, remember the Spiritist doctrine is complementary. Joanna says, replace the negative thought with a good one. So store very simple things, because I was talking about connectedness, how you and I here are doing this work, and all the spirits that are around us are benefiting. Because if you vibrate loving kindness, you're prayerful, you're mindful, you do things with joy because the work is yours, entitled to you to do, then the good spirits can use us to help the spirits. Because if we could see what's happening in the spiritual realm, it would be difficult, because everything starts in the spiritual realm and comes to this planet. So let us not give in to fear and anxiety. Let's be knowledgeable and mindful, and let's work in the spirit we can. This is a time. It's beautiful to have degrees in possessions and beautiful things, but we can't go anywhere. And if you go anywhere, we are at risk of being infected or infecting others. So does it really matter if I have 5 pairs of jeans or not when there's people hungry and homeless and without clothing somewhere else? So we're really invited to that reflection. And sometimes God imposes things on us collectively so we can all give it a push, right? And there's so many, like I was saying, there's so much way to do good. Um, as I was driving to and from yesterday, I saw that there was litter pickup, and it's a beautiful thing that we can do litter pickup. And at first, as an example, you feel angry. Why are people littering? And then you try to reason. Oh, maybe it was falling from a truck. Maybe it fell from the garbage truck. Maybe someone let it fall, and it makes it ugly, and it creates it's not only ugly, it's also a health hazard. And then I had to mindfully, of course, the spirits hopefully inspired to say, no, 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 pray for the guys who are in 90-degree sun in Richmond, really hot and humid, picking up the litter. They're blessed, they have their limbs, they work, and they're doing the work. So pray for them so they can do the work. And pray for people not to litter, of course. But it's like little things we're invited, instead of staying in that state of anger for seeing something that is prejudicial to everybody and to the environment. You have to do that thing. And if you see someone who looks morose and it doesn't look too happy, smile to them. Actually, maybe with masks, you can't smile, but you can nod, you can say hi. You can hold the door for someone so they don't have to touch the door, right? You can do things, you can call your family members and friends, because we are within a family circle, so we're invited to serve those that received us in this lifetime. So there is always opportunity to do good, and the voices of the good are warning us towards this path of light, and the messengers of the Lord are everywhere. So I invite you to focus on the good. Now look and read any of the books of Andrea Luiz. There's so many groups of good spirits that not only come from the higher realms to visit us or to visit the colonies, but leave the colonies like on Solar and others. There are right on the lower zone level, and they come to the earth every day during the day and night to help those who suffer. And all they're waiting for is for a conduit, for you and I to open our hearts and be mindful enough to pray Pray when we wake up, pray when we're driving, pray when we go to work, pray when we're watching this, pray when we think about someone who may be suffering. And another thing you can do for the good today is to share, to like, to subscribe, to follow, whatever the language, the current language is, of these teachings. Cardiac Radio is running 24/7. Send the programs to someone, subscribe, like, because not because we are vain, we want likes, but we want these teachings to show relevance to the algorithm so they can start suggesting this to other people. Because maybe a talk, maybe a little snippet of a message and a prayer can help someone elevate their thoughts, and the good spirits can use that opportunity to help them. So, soldiers of the good, I like that. I'm going to write that down so I can use it later, because we are an army of the good. And I don't like the reference to war, but it is. It is these groups of spirits just waiting. If there's 7 billion incarnated, there are many more discarnated. And then there's all the good spirits and the guardian angels of everybody. And the spirits that working with Christ are caring for each and every one of us. All right, dear friends. Here is a beautiful way of describing the planet. There's beauty everywhere. God has given us freely. None of us created any of these that you see here. We've molded, we've changed the composition of the cosmic fluid and the molecules, we put it together, but we didn't create it. We co-create in lower planes by using your intelligence, by using our goodness. So I'm going to invite you for a prayer, for a final prayer. Hello, Nora Brazil. Hello, Thais. Thank you for letting me know. I hope that the transmission was okay so far and you didn't miss much, but I will go back and I am going to listen to it again. And if there's any cuts or anything that is missed, I can record it and upload it again so nobody misses anything. And it's, as always, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I see some folks here on the Spiritist Magazine, Cardiac Radio, on YouTube. We're pretty much everywhere and anywhere. So I'm going to invite you again for a final prayer so we can send loving, kind vibrations to everyone and everything around us. Shall we? You're very welcome, Nora. I really welcome everybody. I invite you to go to the spiritistmagazine.org and download the PDF, download the app. Let me show it to you. I normally read it on my iPad, but you can download it for your. We have these little beautiful things, and this one is, I can't find it, but you can download for your phone or for the tablet, Android and Apple. And as you saw in the beginning, that these beautiful PDFs you can read very easy. And then you have that waiting in line, going to the bathroom, you can always read it. Instead of flipping through Instagram and seeing the curated life of others, we can curate our lives to connect with the good spirits. Indeed, this lovely message from, and we are thankful for the good spirits. So let's do our final prayer for us to connect with them. I just want to make sure I'm still streaming on the Cardiac Radio app as well for those who cannot be live with us, but they can listen to us. So close your eyes if you can, if it's safe to do so, to cut down on the visual stimuli around you. Repeat the words of the prayer mentally if you can, and you can join me for a prayer. Dear Mother, Father God, we thank you for all of the blessings that we have in our daily lives, for the beauty that surrounds us in the immensity of the universe, for the Mother Earth that has received us during this lifetime. We thank you, dear Lord, for all the opportunities we have of service and learning. We hope that these moments can be of help to any and all that may be suffering in both realms of life. We wish that showers of healing, golden light reach the homes of all of those who are watching. reach the homes of our family members and our friends, traveling from our homes, harmonizing and cleansing each and every room, bringing joy and happiness to our surroundings. May this light travel through our neighborhoods, through our cities and states, harmonizing the feelings of all of those in humanity, harmonizing ourselves with the divine creation, helping all of those who are in need. May we visualize the messengers of the Lord traveling to the homes of those whom we love, feeling their loving embrace, their inspiration for us to choose the path of good, helping one another in the progress of this earth. May you, dear Lord, bless all of humanity, all of our friends in the lower kingdoms of the animals and the plants and the minerals. May this entire planet Earth be enveloped with your light and your grace, soothing the hearts of those who suffer. We ask you for the inspiration for our actions in the good. We ask you, dear Lord, for protection so we feel strong, so that we are able to withstand the difficulties of life and see them as opportunities for growth. May we feel connected with you today and always, and we are thankful for the spirits that guide our works here at Kardec Radio and the Spiritist magazine, for the messengers of Christ that are guiding the destiny of the earth. May their blessings reach our daily lives, filling us with joy and happiness, with the privilege of being of service to you today. May we stay within your protection, and with your permission, we end our studies today. And so be it. All right, dear friends, thank you so very much for being here tonight. I'll be with you again, God willing, and allowing us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. with another article from the Spiritist magazine. In the meantime, write to us at spiritistmagazine@gmail.com. Let us know if you'd like to be a part of this initiative and we can work with you. Share, like, subscribe, follow, and share the good. Be courageous. And I hope that the good spirits stay with you as well, inspiring you. You're very welcome today. Thais, Nora, Sol, and all of you who are shy in not saying your name, but all of you as well who are joining us on demand. May God bless your week, and I see you next time.